Hey friends, welcome back. This is Ashley with Uncommon Roots Homestead, and it is a beautiful August evening in East Tennessee, Zone 7A. It's here in the shade. It's probably like 75 degrees. There's a light breeze. Once we get in the sun, I think it's like 80, but I mean, this is unheard of in August. Ida, the hurricane, kind of came through, and our thoughts are with everyone in Louisiana who is still, struggling to recoup and get power, and we are definitely thinking and praying for everyone who is impacted by the hurricane. It did roll through this area, a couple tornadoes, small, nothing comparable to what Louisiana has dealt with and is dealing with, but in its wake, we have this unseasonably cool weather, and that I am thankful for, because there is nothing better than sitting down in the garden on a Thursday evening after a really long day at work and feeling that breeze. It just, and the kitten. There's just so much peace there. We get asked a lot, how do we balance everything? Like, how do you homestead and work full-time and have a YouTube channel and do a podcast with Jill? Like, how do you do all of that? And sometimes when I run the list like that in my head, I have the same question and I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer. I think part of the answer is that, 4 out of those 5 things are just an expression of what I love, right? Being able to be on the land and share that with you, those kind of just come naturally, and they partner together really well. They're not like separate things that we're working on. And working in corporate America is something, it's a huge part of me, and it's something that I love, and sometimes it's hard to balance those together, right? Like this desire to be so complete and whole on the land, and this corporate drive for perfection and performance and building something, right? And sometimes that balance comes with conflict to each other, and the things that we're doing here feel like they're in conflict with the things that I prioritize and focus on at work. Not really from a sustainability point of view. It's not that my company's not sustainable. It's just that I work in corporate America and I work in tech, and there's a lot that goes into that that's not necessarily in alignment with what we're doing here, and people don't understand what we're doing here or why we would focus or prioritize on these things. And sometimes that's hard to balance, that life with this life. But on evenings like today, after particularly hard days at work, I just feel so thankful that I have such a reprieve in this space, and that I have the gift of being able to disconnect and unplug and come here. And not everybody gets that. And that's why we're doing this, right? I want everyone to know that they have an opportunity to receive this peace. So let's go walk around the garden. So I have actually not walked around the garden in 3 days. I have not been here, maybe more, maybe Monday. Monday might have been the last day that I was actually here, and oh my goodness, my fall beds. Look at this. So this is my kale. So that's that kale I planted to eat as baby kale. I've got some carrots sprouted that I see there. Look at these. They need to be thinned. Carrots. And then that means these are my radishes. So a couple days ago I couldn't remember what was where, but now I can. So that's the benefit. Even if you forget what you plant, if you wait long enough, you're going to be able to tell, because everything kind of takes its own form. I'm trying to stay on top of these weeds. The death of me, that Bermuda grass. I swear it just lives everywhere. This bed is still not doing as much. I'll show you, but just a couple of sprouts. Just not a lot happening. So I see some carrots germinating. These are weeds. So we'll get them out of here. See this little guy? That's a beet. I'm not seeing a ton. Oh, I see somebody. Hazel, what are you doing in my asparagus? What are you doing? I will say Kevin mowed the garden today, and it always feels so like crisp and clean right after we mow it. So I'm very thankful for that. Look at this jungle. So today I was supposed to, if I look at my, like, I'll call it a content calendar. It's not really a content calendar. At the beginning of every week, this is how precise and planned we are. At the beginning of every week, I usually text Kevin a list of videos that I want to film for that week and post. And when I went back to that list, because today is Thursday, I'll post a video tomorrow. When I went back to that list, I said that today we were either going to do weeding the asparagus or cleaning out the squash. Now both of those are very big tasks. Like that is not like a, oh, let me take 2 minutes and weed this asparagus. That's like a multi-hour adventure. Like the grass is thicker in the asparagus bed than I think it is on the ground. So that's definitely not on my agenda today. It's just you gotta be in the right mood. And guys, I had the longest day at work. I do not want to sit and weed an asparagus bed. So that fell off. And then I was like, man, to pull out all of my squash vines right now is also quite the adventure. So instead, here we are, talking about balance because I'm living it out today. I am literally experiencing how do I balance all of this and how do I find joy in this space even when there's a little bit of chaos everywhere else. So figured I'd share that. It like never ceases to amaze me how much peppers love the heat and the rain. And because we've had a pretty dry summer and we've not been as diligent as maybe we should be about watering, and we did not get around to setting up irrigation this year, the peppers were looking rough. And then we started getting all of this rain and like they've exploded. They look so good, all of them. I mean, we're like coming into the pepper harvest and I am so excited. You guys know Kevin makes a great hot sauce. We were trying to figure out what we want to do with all the poblanos. So if you have a good like poblano preservation idea, and I was thinking about drying them and maybe making some kind of a chili powder, but drop your ideas below. I want to go get eggs, but look at this. I just stopped over. Look at how many blooms I have. Gosh. That passion vine has just exploded this year. If it hadn't fallen down, I mean, I think I lost some fruit, but if it hadn't fallen down, I think that would have been huge. Pretty excited about it. We're gonna go get the eggs. What are you doing?
I was fixing my hat.
You're cute.
Thanks.
I love you.
Oh, me too. What are we talking about today?
I was telling our friends about balancing homesteading and work. How do you balance it all?
That's a good question. No one asks me that. Well, as you can see, most of my hair is gone, so
Stop.
I have trouble balancing most things. But I don't know. You make time. You figure it out. I think.
Yeah.
I think for us, we have a lot of passion behind a lot of what we're doing, whether it be here or with our jobs.
You make time for the things you want to make time for.
Right. So like, we come to the farm every night, usually. I come once a day in between working a couple different jobs and taking the kids where they need to go for daycare and such. But one thing that maybe has gone to the wayside is something like regular exercise, which is not a good thing by any means.
Here we go.
by any means, but I mean, you kind of pick and choose. So for me, like coming to the land and doing work here is exercise a lot in and of itself.
Yeah.
So I've kind of taken one thing that I feel like I used to do more often and
Look at those flowers on my sunchokes. Beautiful. And we hear you. We hear you guys. Yeah, so what you were saying is like, mostly there's some stuff that we sacrifice.
Yeah, and I mean, if I was more passionate about something like exercise, I could find time to do it.
You definitely make time for the things you want to make time
Right.
for. And that's what we're doing here.
But you only have so many hours, so it's
Yeah.
like if you want to do something, you might have to sacrifice an extra hour of sleep, or I don't know, get your kids on a better routine at night so you can free yourself up, or you know, who knows what that looks like for you, but chances are something needs to be sacrificed in order to, you know, for you to pursue something you're passionate about.
Yeah.
But that makes it worth it.
All right, friends. Well, it is getting dark. You can't tell because of the white balance on the camera, but it is getting dark. We are about to separate Daisy and then go grab some food. But I wanted to thank you for hanging out with us tonight. You always have a space here on our homestead. Until next time.